Hey everyone, how's it going? So, I've tried to shoot this video a few times at this point, and I never like how it comes out because I have a lot of thoughts on this topic, and it's a bit hard for me to actually put it into words verbally and whatnot, so just bear with me. If this video is a bit rambly and whatnot, then I do apologize, but that's the usual style that I put out. And some people seem to enjoy it, so that's cool. So this all started when my friend Jennifer Ranella shared this thing on Facebook, and it was a post that talks about how we need to normalize this and that, and it was one of those posts. And if I remember correctly, it said normalize dating sex workers. That's what the topic is, but it said that like a bunch of times. It's one of those posts where they repeat themselves over and over again because I guess repeating yourself over and over again or repeating the same thing over and over again somehow makes your argument stronger or your point more valid or something. I've always thought those posts are annoying and really cringy. It reminds me of people who, when they're talking, they like clap their hands and whatnot, which I think is just endlessly annoying. Because again, I guess, clapping your hands when you're saying something, it makes your argument stronger, and it's not just a fucking annoying thing that some people do. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, number one, that I think we can establish that posts that are talking about normalizing this or normalizing that are cringe and stupid. And I'd say about 80 to 90% of the time, if it's saying that we should normalize something, there's probably a good reason why it's not normalized. And to that, I would just say, sometimes the established order of some things, or whatever you want to call it, sometimes it's not a bad thing. Sometimes the way things are is fine. Some things just don't need to change. And it's certainly the case for this topic. And it's the case for other things as well. I've seen it for other things and whatnot. I couldn't even remember, but I've seen a lot of other stupid ones that's in the same vein as this post. But this post was talking about how we as a society, we at large, need to normalize dating sex workers. Now, I just want to start with, like it or not, the majority of people who are interested in, at some point, developing a serious, relationship with depth and whatnot, are not going to want that. Like, the majority of people who want that, who are interested in monogamy, a relationship based on, a number of things, just a relationship with a lot of meaning, are not going to want that because they don't want their partner doing shit with other people on the side. I mean, that's basically just common sense. And it doesn't matter if, the sex worker is, whether it be OnlyFans or actual porn or whatever, it doesn't matter if the sex work itself means nothing, even if it is purely just for work, just for income. It doesn't matter. Like, a lot of people are not going to be comfortable with that. Most people are not going to be comfortable with that. And that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And the implication that there is anything wrong with that is really kind of sickening to me. It's almost a weird form of gaslighting, if you ask me. And the reason I say that is because I had a back and forth with someone about this. I don't remember if it was on the same post or it may have been on a different post that was bringing this up. But this person said that, it takes a strong person to date a sex worker. It takes a mentally, emotionally strong person to date a sex worker. And to me, that almost implies that if you don't want to date a sex worker for, again, very valid reasons that are perfectly fine, it implies that you're somehow a mentally inferior or weaker person for not wanting to date a sex worker. And I think that is absolutely bullshit. I think, if anything, the opposite is true. I think that setting standards for yourself and saying, look, if we're going to be in a relationship, you need to pack this shit up or I can't do this. To me, that takes a lot more strength than, the opposite. I would say that it takes a certain type of person to be okay with that. I would not necessarily say it takes a strong person, not by any means, but I think it takes a certain type of person, maybe a person who has a fetish for being cuckolded, but again, but no, the majority of people don't want that. And I know that someone might see this video and get on to me about, oh, you speak for all people. I'm not saying all people, I'm saying the vast majority of people who someday, at some point, want a serious, meaningful relationship, a monogamous relationship, obviously. And at the end of the day, and I know this is kind of just like, me being Captain Obvious, but the only person that should be seeing you, who should be seeing you in that way, in that form, the only person that you should be doing those types of things with is your significant other, your partner, significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever. Whoever the significant other is in your life, that is the only person you should be doing those types of things with, that you should be showing those types of images to, whatever. And I absolutely think that someone who dates someone with an OnlyFans account, I absolutely would consider that damn near an open relationship. I would. I'm sorry, I'm not okay with the idea. And look, if someone dates someone who has an OnlyFans or does OnlyFans, that's their choice. It's fine. I'm not saying it shouldn't be allowed or whatever. I'm not saying that, but I'm not okay with the idea of someone in a okay, for example, like myself. Like, if Zach came to me one day and was like, "Oh, I'm actually kind of this OnlyFans thing I'm thinking of," and I would be like, no, and we would have to sit down and have a serious, long conversation. I would not be okay with that. I would never be okay with that, and a lot of people are not okay with that. And again, that is totally fine. It is totally fine to feel this way. This idea that it's not somehow okay to feel this way, or that it's controlling, is absolutely retarded. It's stupid. It's not controlling to not want your significant other to be showing pictures of themselves to random strangers on the internet. I absolutely consider that to be, like I said, damn near an open relationship. Because, where is the, I don't know how to word this, but it's like, like I said, the only person that should be seeing that type of stuff at all is your significant other. And this is my opinion. This is my personal opinion. This is a principle that I hold strongly. And if you want to call me conservative or a traditionalist, whatever, go ahead. I don't give a shit. This is a personal opinion of mine. This is a principle that I hold strongly. You should, in my opinion, sex and whatnot, and even like like showing your nudity and whatnot, or like nude pictures, let's just say. But when it just comes to sex and whatnot, I believe that sex should be with someone that you care deeply about, that you know that you care deeply about, that you trust, that you love, all that stuff. I believe that. I believe that sex should be with someone like that. I don't believe in the concept of casual sex. I don't. I don't understand, it's just sleeping with random people. I don't get it. And I know this is kind of off topic, kind of not, but that's my opinion. And look, some people out there are promiscuous. Some people, do that. They like to do that, whatever. I'm not saying they shouldn't be allowed to do that. If I was friends with someone who did that, I wouldn't not be friends with them. I wouldn't think less of them as a person or anything like that. I would probably tell them to be careful. And I would probably tell them, look, I don't think this is the healthiest thing for you, but, you do you. But that is a personal principle of mine. I don't believe or like this idea of, just showing your body off to random people, strangers online. I don't like it. I don't like it, and I don't like that this is being pushed to be almost normalized. I just don't like it. I think that everyone should have standards for themselves. I think everyone should have standards. I think people should have boundaries, and people should be allowed to say, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this. This kind of stuff should only be between you and me and no one else. Even if it is for work, I don't care. Only between you and me, no one else. Even if it means nothing, that doesn't matter. I'm not comfortable with it. And that's how it should be. This idea of normalizing dating sex workers will never be normalized, and it shouldn't be. Because most people aren't going to be comfortable with that. And again, I find the almost gaslighting nature of this, like implying that there's something like intolerant about you if you aren't okay with this, to be fucking sickening, to be infuriating. Because how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you even imply that someone is controlling or whatever the fuck, toxic, for not being okay with this and even for being against it? How fucking dare you? You know, there are people who have been cheated on, and especially people like that would not be okay with this. It pisses me off. It really does. And look, if you're a sex worker, and again, this gets into my position on this. Now, I think that sex work should be legal. I think that, you know, it's a person's body, and what they choose to do with their own body is their business and no one else's. I believe that sex work and stuff should be legal for people to do. You know, make your living, whatever. That's my position on it, you know, in a political sense. In a personal sense, I would never encourage someone to choose that path. And again, that is a personal opinion of mine. That is a principle of mine. I'm not saying it's the one to have. It's just my personal opinion. And I understand that a lot of people who get into, like, you know, pornography or prostitution, a lot of people are doing it as a means to an end because maybe they can't find work, maybe the economy where they're at is bad and whatnot, so they're kind of just doing that because they really can't find anything else, and I get that. I understand that completely. Fine. But just how many people who do that kind of work can say, oh yeah, I always wanted to be this, I always wanted to do this? Have random strangers treat your body as if it's a transaction. You know, so it's I think it should be legal, again. Perfectly legal across the board. I personally don't like it. That's my position. And again, if someone wants to call me traditionalist or conservative for that, fine, but that's my opinion. And, you know, again, sex workers out there, what I'm saying is basically, you made your bed. You made your choice of a career. And if the dating pool is limited because of that, that's on you, that's not on society. And if you want to change that, it's on you to change, not on everyone else. And I gotta be honest, it takes a special type of narcissism to think that all of society needs to just change their minds, their mindsets, and their feelings and whatnot to suit a niche group of people on this topic, anyways. And I know that people will, you know, try to, you know, come with some fucked up version like, oh, imagine if you were saying that about gay people, and what. It's not even the same vein, you know. But yeah, if you want a partner, a significant other, a meaningful relationship, and you have a very hard time finding someone because they aren't comfortable with that, the problem isn't everyone else, it's you. And you need to decide, if you really want this, then you need to make serious changes. Okay? It's on you as a person to change if you want things in your life to be different. It's not on everyone else to change. Again, that is a special type of narcissism and arrogance and self-centeredness and self-importance. It's not on society to change as a whole for you. If you want changes in your life in regards to that, it's on you to change it. So roll your sleeves up and make those changes, or accept the, you know, the realities and the consequences of the career field that you chose. you know. And I'm not saying that sex workers aren't human beings, that they don't deserve a decent life, that they don't deserve to be treated like every other human being. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. You know, people who do sex work are human beings and they deserve to be treated with the same decency and respect that everyone else does. But what I'm also saying is that the field that you chose to do comes with realities and consequences, and you need to take accountability for that as a person yourself, not everyone else, yourself. So, and honestly, I could do a whole video about my thoughts on sex work and whatnot, but I mean, I basically gave you the long and short of it because, again, politically speaking, I'm completely libertarian on it. Like, if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. No one should stop you. It shouldn't be illegal. Do it, you know. And especially if people are doing it as a means to an end, again, I get that. I totally understand. But personally, if I had a friend who was going to do sex work and whatnot, I would tell them to just be careful. I would tell them to be very careful. It's not what I would want for them, but if they have their mind set on doing it, I would be like, you know, go ahead. I support you as a person. You just need to be careful. Because there's a lot of creeps out there. There is. But yeah, anyways. But yeah, people as a whole don't need to change. People as a whole, you know, when it comes to serious monogamous relationships that with a future, no, they're not going to be comfortable with dating sex workers, and they probably never will be. And again, that is fine. It is perfectly fine and reasonable and logical and rational to feel that way. Don't let, you know, some small group of people who have a massive ego tell you otherwise. If you want a partner that is not, if you want a partner that's, everyone wants a partner that is going to be faithful to them. That's just common sense, and there's nothing wrong with that. And again, even if the sex work itself, like if you're doing pornography and it means absolutely nothing, that doesn't matter. If it makes your significant other uncomfortable, you need to consider their feelings, not your own feelings. Because at that point, you're basically telling them to suck it up. Oh, it doesn't mean anything, it's fine, you know. Well, it's not fine. It's not fine to them. And it wouldn't be fine to a lot of people. So you need to change yourself and your career field. I'm not saying it'd be easy. It won't be. But if you really want those changes in your life, then you have to make those strides yourself, not everyone else. Take accountability for your life and your actions and your choices. Anyways, that's it. I'm done. Let me know what you guys think. You know, and like I said, I understand that some of my own personal opinions may not be, you know, the mainstream or popular, but those are my personal opinions, my personal principles. I'm not saying it's, you know, it's the correct way to feel or whatever, but it's how I feel. You know, so anyways, that's it for this one. Let me know what you guys think. Peace. Y'all have a good day.